My biggest hesitation in joining was that I had just tried so many things. I'm sure it's not an unfamiliar story, but I had done, all the chiropractors, acupuncture, yoga, stretches. I mean, I'd done so much stuff and nothing ever really worked. And so this was just one more thing, and I think early on in the process, you become just a little skeptical. And so I didn't really have any specific thing about the program that I thought, this isn't going to work, or it won't be for me. It was just more, I had tried so many things that didn't work. And so it was just like almost like going off blind faith that I had to keep trying stuff, but again, after trying so many things that didn't work, you start to become a little skeptical that like this will just be one more thing that like you try that don't work. So I had back pain for many years. I'm 44, and I started having back pain about the age of 27, 28. And at first, it started as just like just discomfort in my lower back if I sat for too long. But I could pretty much do most anything. And, over the years, that just kind of got worse and worse. And finally, a couple of years ago, I started to develop sciatica down my right leg, all the way down into my foot. So there were times it was like so bad, I was basically living on my floor. I couldn't really do anything. My back was spasming so bad, and the pain running down into my leg was so bad that, I could, barely function. I ultimately had surgery on my L5 S1, and it did relieve quite a bit of the sciatica, but I was several months post-surgery, past the point where they said, oh, you'll be able to resume normal activities. And I was still just really struggling. Like the smallest thing would set it off, would trigger it. So, I'm supposed to be at a point where like I can resume normal activities, but if I take a 10-minute walk around my neighborhood, I'll hurt for the next 3 days. So yeah, I was just really looking for something that, would help me continue to progress and get past the hump, so to speak. I definitely still struggle with pain a bit, but I really feel like I've just made steady progress up until now. So I'm not 100% pain free. I still struggle. I think for me, a big trigger for me has been sitting. And I think that'll be something that's going to take me some time still to work on. But I'm so much further than where I started. Right before I started the program, I was probably 6 months post surgery. And at 3 months post surgery, they told me you can resume all your normal activities. And I try to do the lightest workout. I'm talking about like some air squats, some like chest presses with 20-pound dumbbells, and just doing that and it would trigger it. And I was just miserable for like 2 or 3 days. And now I'm doing some pretty significant workouts in the program. I definitely, after I get done, I feel like I've worked out with no extra pain. Also, a big one for me, even through the program at first, I would have this like buzzing in my leg and my foot. It maybe not so much pain, but it was more psychological. It's kind of like ringing in your ears. And it was just like constant. And so if I overdid it or if I did the wrong thing, I would have that buzzing, and it could last a few hours, it could last a few days. And that was real tough too. That was like, it was driving me crazy. So I probably haven't had that in the last 2 months, 10 weeks. So knock on wood, I'm kind of past that. So I definitely feel like, there's still ups and downs, and, I kind of know that. So I try to go back to what I feel like I know what works. I try, even if I can't get a workout in, I'm going to do a micro dose workout, every day. And I just feel like consistency has been a real key for me. I'm like anyone, I get busy sometimes, and, life gets in the way, and I'll miss a workout, maybe two, and I can definitely tell. So for me, just being consistent, I just feel like that's where I am, in the journey, is just being really consistent, not overdoing it, not pushing through pain, but just whatever I'm prescribed to do that day, I just try to do and get done. And, I found things that really worked and some things that maybe didn't work as much, but throughout that that process, I've just found ways that, I can, things I can do, that help and that have lasted so far.